Okay, 1725 engine. Cranks over, it's got a spark, but it won't run. It'll run when you put fuel down the carbs for a little bit, but it won't run under its own power. This one's actually got an electric pump, if you can hear. So I've just disconnected it, and yes, we have got fuel, even though a bit cloudy. That might have been the jam jar actually. I'll pump some more out. Now I've just pumped some more out. It is, yeah, looking pukey. Right, let's see. It's been off the road for a while. Oh wow, there you go. Separating, looks like there's moisture it's got in the tank. And we're trying to burn half water. Okay, disconnected the coil, just got the ignition on. Pump out what's left in the tank. Well, we got a bit more out. So this comes out well in the sunlight. You can see the darker bit floating about at the bottom of the container. That's the water. So while the rest of that's pumping out, I'm going to take the bases off the carbs and check what's in them. Lovely. No wonder it didn't want to run. Oh, I meant to say, when you do this, it's important, get a screwdriver that's the right size and fits really well. Because if you chew them up and they haven't been undone for a while, if they haven't been undone for quite a few years, it will just cause you more trouble. Okay, let's twist this one off and see. Expecting it to be just as bad. No. Yeah, I can feel bits going through my fingers. Yeah, just as bad. And you can see in the first one, that's water trickling around there. You see by the way it's sort of, it's got the meniscus on the top where it's won't soak into the rest of the stuff. Right, this one's suffering from the same fuel problem. See all that stuff in the back? Got to get it out. You can hear that? I'll blow down here as well. Coming out of there over the window. Okay, so we're going to take these bottom bits off, undoing them from the big thread. Right, now you undo these. You're going to have the little washers and bits and pieces fall out as soon as you're doing these on the bench, not doing them on the bench rather. So gravity's going to be against you. Make sure you don't drop any of these bits. Now I can feel in my hands, yeah, that's not fuel. You can tell by the way that it soaks in or doesn't soak in, that's water in them. And don't look too bad, but yeah, you look at that. You tap it and it comes down. Push it up like that and it stays up. It should come up and down easy, but they don't. And then they stick shut and you don't get fuel in, or they stick open and it all comes out the side. I sell new ones, about £8 each or something if you want one. Right, see, the new ones are lovely. you can see the base just where that light is on the right there. See that little round bit? That is the exit for the fuel to go down the fuel line. So we're just going to tuck a bit of this over the top, and then any floating flakes hopefully won't get trapped in the hole. They might stay in the tank, but yeah, in 6 months or a year we'll clean it out again, and eventually they'll go. Don't know if it will actually focus on the sort of unevenness that you can see on the top of that shaft. Now, see that shiny bit where one edge is worn. So we'll change the needle. Basically, unscrew it from that bit in the side. That little hole there, that little tab on the rubber, it's got to go in that little hole. I don't know if you can see the two bits of blobs of dirt that's at the back of there. Try and get it so the sunlight's at the right angle. Anyway, this is the bit that goes over the needle and regulates your fuel. So the inside of there has got to be clean and not have bits of blobs of dirt in it. Okay, so these were full of dirt, which we just cleaned out. Pull that bit. Well, again, you can use these old jets just to rub round the dust on the inside. So I just noticed after cleaning, that shoulder there's clean. This one, look, is all pitted. So luckily I pulled an old carb out of the spare stash, and we're going to rob the bits off of it. Go. Right, so put the bottom in there just by a couple of threads. Change the little O-ring that's in the top, and then you've got to line this up, put it back underneath. Bearing in mind we've got the film the top in there. Right, you can see it screwing in the middle of there. Right, drop the needle in the top just lightly, wobble it around a bit as you're screwing it in, just to get it centralized. Stop. Right, when the big nut is screwed in, you see screw the small one in, and it'll bring that little shoulder up. Again, you want to keep that in there so it helps centralize it. And then you will see it just come up. Right, stop that a sec. So, right, you're filming it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, right, so as you screw it in, you can see it just rise. You see it poking its little turtle's head up there. You just want to get it so it's level. You can see the piston rising up, look, and then back down. Just get it to there where it rests on the bottom. Right, recording? Mm-hmm. Right, so put these together. I tend to just put a little bit of oil on there. Right, then that fits nice with that little spring, goes in and out all right. You've got to rest that in there, and again, make sure you've got all the washers and bits and pieces back on there, and then screw that back in. That's right. Tighten the bottom up. Stop. That's it, stop. Right, let's go, yeah, right. So again, then screw this in. You just keep that sort of, tap it a few times, keep it central as you screw it in, and then as you're looking in the side here, you'll see it when it comes to the top and starts lifting your piston up. Right, stop. Right. Again, sorry, I might have forgot this. Do it in the wrong order. Anyway, slacken the outside again. Yeah, I just want to get that in there. Because if you tighten up the outside, it will trap that silver washer. And then it will stop the jet being able to go central, so. Should. Right, are we there yet? Oh, it's nearly, if you film the top. See, that central bit is nearly at the top. Yeah, stop it. Yeah, film it now.
Yeah.
Right, now you got that piston centralised, but it's too high. And you've got to hold the outside bit. You can see it moving there. Got to make sure that that's loose. Well, not loose, that the piston can freely move up and down. See, I could just make it move up there slightly by screwing in the central one. And it's free. Then we can tighten the outside. Larger nut. Sometimes if that ends up being stiff, you've just got to repeat what you're doing again until it sits there. But when you screw this up and down like so, you can make it move. So you just want to get that little brass bit so it's level with the shoulder. And they'll be even. Right, stop that. Okay, so once these are centralised and they'll move up and down freely, you just got to put them back in the right place. Again, there's that little tab there. That little tab on there has got to go in there. See on that bit, it's over a bit, but you'll find it in the right place. Bit more like that, there we go. All right, then you can put your lids on with the 4 screws. Helps if you do them up in sort of sequence.
Yep.
Right, just get a bit of oil, smear it around the inside of there. And it will go over there easier. I take it you've already had it go there. Just check that the float shuts off the needle when it's in the up position. If not, you can bend that to adjust it. So tuck them in like that, put that over the bottom. Get one of your bolts started off. and then obviously do all the bolts back up, the screws. Let's see, switch that off. Well, hey, new fuel. Right, just going to pump some of the fuel out. Still coming out cloudy, is it?
Milky.
There's still a bit of water. It must be the residual when we were blowing it around in the tank. Yeah, nice. I forgot this had the fuel filter just before the pump. So there we go. We're putting a new one of these on and some new bits of pipe. Okay, new filter, and now we just run some through and it's all clean and lovely. So we'll connect it up. Right. So we got fuel, that's connected back up. So we want to set the two carbs up. So slacken these throttle stop screws right off so that you can see in there that they're not touching anything. They both got to be able to go right back. Now, just in case one side is holding off the other side, you slacken off one of these, the adjustment in the middle, which as you watch means you can move one side and not the other. So they're both definitely at rest. Go. Right, you slack them both off so you can turn this. Now you can start seeing this arm move a little bit. See, it's moving now, it's not moving now. So you get it to when it just touches, put it back a tiny bit. Make sure your throttle cable isn't pulling that off. So stop that, that's holding. Okay, so this side, the throttle is holding it open slightly. So we'll slacken that off. And that wants to go back definitely to 0. And then repeat the same on this side. So when you've got the gap there, the screwdriver's a bit easier. Again, just tighten that up. And you can see it just move there, but not there. So slacken that off. Right, they are then set. Right. And you can tighten the middle bit back up so they're both joined. So stop again. Right, okay, so we've slackened that off. Right, do the same thing as they're just touching. Right, if you look in the manual, I think it says to turn these 2 turns, so it's basically open. Just check that again. That was from when that's just touching. Right, so screwdriver that side, so all the way around, that's 1, round again, and 2, and then do the front one. From there, 1, there, 2. So, and tighten up your clamp in the middle. Now, this is the basic settings with those at the bottom. So in theory, we should turn this on and it will run. Okay, so we got the pump on. Check there's no leaks from where you've had your fingers. Oh, like that, we got a bleeder. Right, there you go, classic schoolboy error. I put that new needle valve in, and because I was too busy filming it and messing around, I didn't tighten them up. So, when you've done that, you take the bowls off again. And there you go. Is it going to be me? It's going to be right. Oh, I think. Yeah, still classic schoolboy errors, but it's a 10-minute interlude. There you go. Just one of them. Just when I'm nibbed up. That one was slightly loose, so obviously it was still coming through. The needle was sharp, but it was coming through around the threads and then filling up and coming out the back. Okay, we've connected it back up, so let's see. Are we getting the fuel in without any leaks this time? You can hear the tone of the fuel pump change. So it's vibrating, touching the side. I'm going to tighten that clamp up. Right, so we'll start it up, see if it runs. Right, okay. Oh, yeah. Can you rev it up a bit, or hold on? Sorry, just getting ignorant. Yeah, go on. Tighten up the throttle cable a bit. Okay, go on then. Right, we pulled the choke out because I sorted the cables out. Start it up. Go on. Stop. Right, no choke, fresh battery. Try to pull the choke up a little bit. Right, go on then. There we go. Right, just got to get it warmed up. Right. Anyway, I'll fuck around with this. Sorry. Play around with this, put that, warm it up a bit. And there you go. You put your air filters on and then you mess around with it for a bit longer until you get the right mixture. I'm actually running out of time now, I've got to go, so I can't really do much more of it. But I will do another video on a pair of carburetors where I'll actually strip them down and put them on something and start to finish. It was only just doing a few of these because some videos explaining something is better than nothing at all. I know there'll be stuff I've missed out, but it is what it is. Watch out another time. Somewhere later in the year I'll have a pair of these to do and I'll take them off, clean them properly and go through it. Thanks for watching.